In a world where connections, love, and validation often seem just out of reach, many of us fall into the trap of chasing after what we desire. We beg for attention, write heartfelt messages, make endless calls, and pursue relationships or opportunities that slip further away the harder we try. But what if the very act of chasing is what's keeping those things from coming to us? What if the answer isn't in doing more, but in doing less? This is not about giving up, it's about reclaiming your power. It's about recognizing that true value, love, and success come when you align with the energy of what you want rather than exhausting yourself chasing it. Today we're diving deep into the art of attraction through self-assurance. This isn't just theory, it's a transformation. We're discussing why you should never beg, chase, write, or call for what you desire, and how to let things flow naturally into your life. Prepare to rethink everything you've been taught about pursuing what you want. By the end of this, you'll understand why stepping back might be the most powerful move you can make. Have you ever noticed how the harder you run after something, the faster it seems to slip through your fingers? Whether it's love, success, or even a dream opportunity, the energy of desperation pushes it further away. Why? Because desperation speaks of lack, and lack never attracts abundance. Imagine for a moment a butterfly. If you chase it wildly, it flutters further and further out of your grasp. But when you sit still, calm and grounded, it might just land gently on your shoulder. That butterfly is everything you've been chasing: peace, love, opportunity, and fulfillment. And the truth is, you don't need to run after it. But here's the suspenseful part: what happens when you stop chasing, stop calling, and stop begging? Will everything fall apart? Will you lose what you desire most? Or will you discover the power you've had all along, the power to attract rather than pursue? You see, in life, the more we seek validation or chase after people and things, the more we signal to the universe that we're incomplete. We affirm that we don't have enough, and the universe responds in kind. But when we stand firm in our worth, when we act as though what we desire is already ours, something miraculous happens. Today we'll explore the profound shift that happens when you step into your own energy. Why should you let go of the compulsion to chase? How can you align yourself with the flow of what you truly desire? And most importantly, how can you reclaim your power by simply letting go of the need to beg, chase, write, or call? Stay with me as we unpack this life-changing perspective. Because once you understand this principle, you'll never approach relationships, opportunities, or desires the same way again. When you chase something, be it a person, an opportunity, or even a dream, you are, perhaps unknowingly, broadcasting a message to the universe: I don't have this. I need this. I am incomplete without this. This energy of lack doesn't inspire, attract, or manifest. Instead, it repels. Why? Because the energy of lack is rooted in fear, insecurity, and desperation. These are the vibrations that push away the very things you desire. Imagine standing in front of a mirror and shouting, I need you to love me. What does the reflection do? It doesn't embrace you, it doesn't respond with affection. It simply reflects back the energy you give it. This is life. The universe acts as that mirror, amplifying what you project. When you act out of neediness or desperation, it reflects that same energy right back to you. Chasing is an admission of doubt. It's telling yourself and the world that you don't believe you are enough on your own. But here's the truth: you are enough. Your worth isn't determined by the things or people you run after. It is intrinsic. Chasing turns you into a beggar for what you should be a ruler of. Now let's consider this. If what you desire was truly yours, would you chase it? Would a queen chase her crown, or a king beg for his throne? No. They walk with the quiet confidence that what belongs to them will find its way to them. And this isn't arrogance, it's alignment. Chasing also weakens your power. Every time you run after something, you are diverting your energy outward instead of inward. This energy, when directed inward, can build resilience, self-worth, and magnetism. When you chase, you scatter your energy, exhausting yourself in the process. But when you hold steady and focus on your own growth, You radiate an undeniable strength that draws everything you need directly to you. It's not about sitting idle or doing nothing. It's about understanding that your power doesn't lie in the pursuit. It lies in your presence. When you stop chasing, you reclaim your dignity and your voice. You declare to the universe, I am whole, I am worthy, and I trust what's mine will come. Think of the most successful, confident people you know. Do they chase or do they attract? Their energy is grounded in knowing, not needing. And that's where you must anchor yourself to. Stop running after life. Let life run to you. The truth is simple: you attract what you are, not what you want. If your energy is chaotic, desperate, or needy, you will draw in chaos, rejection, and resistance. But when your energy is calm, confident, and self-assured, the universe has no choice but to match that frequency. Energy is the language of the unseen. It's the force that moves people, circumstances, and opportunities toward or away from you. Think about it: when someone enters a room full of self-assurance, they don't need to shout, beg, or draw attention to themselves. Their energy speaks louder than words. People are naturally drawn to them because confidence is magnetic. Now let's apply this to your desires. If you are constantly emitting energy that screams, I'm not enough, I don't have what I need, or please pick me, the world responds in kind. It says, you're right, you're not enough. But the moment you step into the energy of abundance, acting as though you already possess what you seek, you become unstoppable. This is not pretense or pretending. It's embodying the reality of your desires before they materialize. You don't wait for the world to validate your worth, you decide your worth, and the world aligns. It's the shift from being a seeker to being a receiver. Here's an analogy: imagine you're a radio. To hear a specific station, you must tune into its frequency. You can't demand the station changes to suit your current setting. The same applies to life. To attract love, success, or opportunity, you must vibrate at their frequency. You must become the energy of what you want. Energy is subtle but unmistakable. If your energy exudes confidence, self-love, and security, others feel it. They may not consciously understand it, but they will respond to it. Opportunities will find their way to you, and people will be drawn to your authenticity. This is why the energy of chasing fails. It carries the vibration of not enough. Shifting your energy doesn't mean you ignore your desires. It means you stop needing them to feel whole. When you radiate completeness, the universe responds with abundance. You attract not because you lack, but because you overflow. Remember, everything is energy. Money, love, success, these are just forms of energy. When you align with their frequency, you don't chase them, they flow to you. So step into the energy of abundance. Be the person who already has what they desire, and watch how the world transforms around you. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. Silence is not weakness, it is strength. It is the space where clarity is born, where dignity resides, and where the greatest transformations take place. Silence is your way of saying, I don't need to convince, beg, or chase. I know my worth and I stand firm in it. When you stop explaining yourself, stop pleading for someone's attention, and stop chasing after what seems elusive, you create a vacuum. And nature abhors a vacuum. That silence you hold is a magnet. It draws attention, respect, and opportunities in ways words never could. Think about this: why do people often regret losing someone who walked away quietly, with no drama, no explanations? It's because silence demands reflection. It forces others to confront their own actions without the distraction of your words. When you stay silent, you leave no room for arguments or excuses. You create an undeniable presence that lingers long after you're gone. Silence also communicates strength. It tells the world that you are in control of your emotions, that you are not ruled by impulsive reactions. People are drawn to those who can remain composed under pressure. When you don't react, you maintain power. You let others wonder, question, and most importantly, respect you. Now consider this: how often do we ruin opportunities or relationships by saying too much? By over-explaining, over-apologizing, or over-justifying ourselves. Silence eliminates this risk. It allows you to communicate not from a place of fear, but from a place of confidence. Silence is also a form of detachment. When you stop chasing and start trusting the flow of life, you don't need to fill every space with noise. Your silence becomes a testament to your faith in yourself and the universe. It says, I trust that what's meant for me will come, and I don't need to fight for it. Silence creates mystery, and mystery is magnetic. When you're not always accessible, not always explaining yourself, people become curious. They start wondering what's behind your calm demeanor, and that curiosity draws them closer. So don't underestimate the power of silence. It's not about shutting people out, it's about knowing when to stop giving away your power. Sometimes saying nothing is the loudest message of all. Trust. Such a simple word, yet often the hardest thing to embody. To trust the process means to let go of control, to believe that everything is unfolding as it should, even when it doesn't seem like it. It's about releasing the need to force outcomes, to chase, or to manipulate situations into what you think they should be. Trusting the process is the ultimate act of faith in yourself and in the universe. Think about planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You water it, give it sunlight, and let nature take its course. Trusting the process works the same way. When you set your intention, done your part, and aligned yourself with the energy of what you want, your only job is to wait and believe. The universe, like nature, has its timing. But why is this so hard for us? Because we are wired to seek control. When things don't happen immediately, doubt creeps in. Fear takes over. We start chasing, calling, begging, anything to force the outcome. But this is counterproductive. The energy of forcing disrupts the natural flow of manifestation. It's like trying to speed up a flower's bloom by pulling on its petals. You only end up destroying it. Trusting the process doesn't mean doing nothing. It means taking inspired action, then stepping back. It's about finding balance between effort and surrender. You do your part, then release the outcome. This release isn't giving up. It's a declaration of faith. It's saying, I know this will come to me because I've aligned myself with it. When you trust the process, you free yourself from the burden of anxiety. You stop overthinking, stop obsessing, and stop chasing. Instead, you create space for the universe to work its magic. Trust transforms you from a pursuer into a receiver. And here's the paradox: when you truly trust, when you no longer need something to happen, that's often when it does. Why? Because trust aligns you with abundance, not lack. It sends a clear message to the universe: I am ready. I am patient. I know it's already mine. So release the grip of control. Trust that every delay has a purpose, every rejection is redirection, and every step is leading you to exactly where you're meant to be. Faith is not just believing in the unseen, it's acting as though it's already seen. Trust the process and watch how life unfolds in your favor. The way the world treats you is a reflection of how you treat yourself. If you don't value yourself, why should anyone else? Valuing yourself means recognizing your worth without seeking external validation. It means standing firm in your boundaries, your goals, and your self-respect. When you truly value yourself, begging, chasing, writing, or calling for approval becomes irrelevant. Imagine a precious gem sitting on a pedestal. Does the gem plead for attention? No, because its value is inherent. People recognize its worth without the gem doing anything. You are that gem. The moment you realize your worth, the dynamics around you begin to shift. You attract people and opportunities that align with your self-respect. When you don't value yourself, you subconsciously teach others to undervalue you as well. Every time you overextend, apologize excessively, or compromise your dignity to gain someone's attention. You send a message, I don't believe I'm enough. But when you value yourself, you radiate a different energy. You communicate without words that you deserve respect, kindness, and effort. Valuing yourself starts with how you speak to yourself. What's the tone of your internal dialogue? Do you criticize yourself endlessly or celebrate your strengths? Self-worth begins with self-talk. The moment you replace self-doubt with self-appreciation, the external world mirrors that back to you. Now, valuing yourself doesn't mean arrogance. It's not about thinking you're better than others. It's about knowing that you are enough exactly as you are. It's about recognizing that your worth doesn't depend on external achievements or relationships. It's intrinsic. When you value yourself, you stop chasing things that deplete you. You stop trying to prove your worth to those who don't see it. You understand that rejection is not a reflection of your inadequacy, but a sign of misalignment. You choose to walk away from what doesn't serve you, not because you don't care, but because you care deeply about your own peace. Valuing yourself also means setting boundaries. It means saying no to things that drain you and yes to things that nourish you. It's not selfish, it's necessary. When you prioritize your well-being, you show the world that you take yourself seriously. And when you take yourself seriously, others have no choice but to follow suit. So stop waiting for others to validate your worth. Decide it for yourself. Once you value yourself fully, the need to chase, beg, or plead disappears. You become the magnet, and everything meant for you finds its way. Detachment is not about giving up on your desires. It's about releasing your grip on them. It's about understanding that your happiness, peace, and sense of self are not tied to any external person, outcome, or circumstance. Detachment is freedom from the exhausting cycle of chasing, forcing, and clinging. When you cling to something, whether it's a person, a job, or a dream, you suffocate it. Imagine holding a butterfly in your hand. If you grip it tightly, you'll crush it. But if you hold it loosely, it can rest on your palm and fly when it's ready. This is the essence of detachment. It's about holding space for what you desire without strangling it with neediness. Detachment is not indifference. It's not about saying, I don't care, it's about saying, I care, but I trust. It's the ability to want something while knowing you'll be okay without it. This doesn't diminish your desires, it strengthens your power to manifest them. Why? Because detachment shifts your energy from desperation to trust. When you detach, you stop giving power to external things. You reclaim your energy and direct it inward. You stop saying, I need this to feel complete, and start saying, I am complete as I am. This shift is profound. It liberates you from the fear of loss and opens you to the joy of possibility. Detachment also allows you to see clearly. When you're too attached, your judgment becomes clouded. You may hold on to something toxic out of fear of letting go. But detachment gives you perspective. It allows you to evaluate whether something is truly meant for you or if it's time to release it. The irony of detachment is that the moment you let go, you often receive. Why? Because attachment creates resistance. It sends a signal of lack and fear to the universe. But when you release that resistance, you create space for abundance to flow. Detachment is the ultimate act of faith. It's saying, I trust that what's meant for me will come, and I don't need to force it. Practicing detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care deeply, but without obsession. It means you pursue your goals, nurture your relationships, and live your life without tying your worth or happiness to any one thing. Detachment is not giving up, it's rising above. It's stepping into a state of being where you are no longer controlled by external circumstances. So let go of the need to control. Release the grip of fear. Trust the flow of life. When you detach, you set yourself free, and freedom is where true power resides. Confidence is the antidote to compulsion. Compulsion comes from fear of missing out, fear of rejection, fear of being forgotten. Confidence, on the other hand, comes from trust in your worth and faith in the process of life. When you operate from a place of confidence, you don't feel the need to beg, chase, write, or call. You know that what is meant for you will come to you. Confidence is not about arrogance or being loud, it's about being rooted. It's about walking into any situation knowing that you belong, not because someone else said so, but because you decided so. Confidence is the quiet power that says, I don't need to prove myself to anyone. My value speaks for itself. Think about how the most magnetic people carry themselves. They aren't the ones constantly seeking validation or approval. They aren't the ones over-apologizing or over-explaining. They move with purpose, speak with intention, and act from a place of assurance. That assurance is what draws others in. When you lack confidence, you give away your power. You let other people's opinions dictate your actions. You bend over backward to gain their approval, often at the expense of your own peace. But true confidence doesn't seek approval, it creates it. It doesn't chase after opportunities, it attracts them. Confidence is built through self-acknowledgement. Start by celebrating your wins, no matter how small. Each time you recognize your strengths, you reinforce your sense of self-worth. Confidence also grows through self-discipline. When you set goals and follow through, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. That self-trust becomes the foundation of your confidence. Compulsion, on the other hand, is chaotic. It stems from a lack of clarity and an abundance of fear. Compulsion is the frantic need to do something, to text them one more time, to call them just to make sure, to write and explain yourself again. But every compulsive action sends a message to the universe: I don't trust myself. I don't trust the process. I am desperate. Confidence allows you to step back. It lets you hold space for yourself instead of filling every void with unnecessary action. Confidence knows when to speak and when to stay silent. It knows that silence can often be more powerful than words. So choose confidence over compulsion. The next time you feel the urge to chase or force something, pause. Remind yourself that you are enough as you are. Let your confidence do the talking and watch how the world responds to your quiet power. Chasing is exhausting. It drains your energy, erodes your confidence, and places you in a position of lack. Chasing says, I need this to complete me, and that energy pushes what you want further away. But when you stop chasing and become a magnet instead, everything shifts. Becoming a magnet means aligning with your desires, not running after them. It means radiating such a strong sense of self-worth that what you seek naturally gravitates toward you. A magnet doesn't move, it pulls. It doesn't beg or plead, it attracts effortlessly. To become a magnet, you must first understand that your energy is your greatest asset. When you are grounded, confident, and in alignment with your desires, you emit a frequency that draws people and opportunities to you. This isn't magic, it's the law of resonance, like attracts like. Becoming a magnet starts with embodying the qualities you seek. If you desire love, radiate love. If you seek success, carry yourself as if you are already successful. This isn't about pretending, it's about stepping into the version of yourself that already has what you want. When you chase, you emit desperation. That desperation repels. It's like trying to grab water with your hands. The harder you grasp, the more it slips away. But when you become a magnet, you move into a state of trust. You understand that you don't need to force anything because what's meant for you will come to you. Being a magnet also requires boundaries. You don't let just anyone into your space. You don't settle for less than you deserve. Boundaries aren't walls, they are filters. They ensure that what enters your life aligns with your value. A magnet doesn't pull in everything, it attracts only what matches its energy. Patience is another key to magnetism. Magnets don't rush, they trust their pull. Similarly, when you're aligned with your desires, you don't need to chase after them frantically. You can wait with grace, knowing that the right opportunities are on their way. Gratitude amplifies your magnetism. When you appreciate what you already have, you signal to the universe that you're ready for more. Gratitude raises your vibration, making you a beacon for abundance. Stop chasing. Start attracting. Step into your power as a magnet and watch as the things you once ran after begin to find their way to you. Let the pull of your energy speak louder than any words or actions. In life, we often believe that effort, relentless, tireless effort, is the only path to getting what we want. But true power lies not in chasing or begging, but in trusting and becoming. When you stop writing, calling, chasing, or pleading, you shift from desperation to dignity, from scarcity to abundance. You reclaim your energy and stand rooted in your self-worth, knowing that what is meant for you will find you in its own time. Every key point we've discussed: letting go of desperation, trusting the process, valuing yourself, practicing detachment, cultivating confidence, and becoming a magnet, leads to one central truth: you are enough. The moment you internalize this truth, the need to prove yourself, chase others, or seek external validation vanishes. You realize that your energy is far too precious to waste on things or people that do not recognize your value. Closing this chapter of chasing is not an act of giving up, it's an act of rising higher. It's about choosing yourself over external approval. It's about walking away from what drains you and making space for what uplifts you. It's about trusting the flow of life, understanding that what is truly yours will never pass you by. So I urge you, don't beg, don't chase, don't write, don't call. Instead, stand in your power. Let your presence speak louder than any words ever could. Trust that the universe knows your heart and is working in your favor, even when you can't see it. As you move forward, remember this: life responds to your energy. Carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth. Hold your head high and your standards higher. Let go of anything that doesn't serve you, and trust that by doing so, you are making room for something far greater. The choice is yours, and it starts now. Will you continue chasing, or will you rise to meet the life that is waiting for you? Thank you for listening, and remember, you are enough, just as you are.
There is a power so profound, so transformative, that it can reshape the entire course of your life. A power gifted to you by God Himself, hidden not because it is inaccessible, but because we have overlooked it. This power is not a secret in the traditional sense. It has been written about, whispered in scriptures, and shared in moments of divine revelation. Yet it remains unused, neglected, and underestimated. Why? Because its simplicity hides its greatness, and its potential requires a level of faith and imagination many fear to embrace. You possess this power. It is within you now, waiting to be awakened, ready to turn dreams into reality and sorrow into joy. But most of us are blind to it. In a world of distractions, we look outward for solutions, while this divine gift lies dormant within. Today we will unveil it. We will explore what it is, why it remains unused, and how you can activate it to change your life. But before we reveal it, let's understand why so few have grasped this profound truth, despite its availability to all. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly create the lives they desire, while others struggle endlessly, caught in a cycle of despair? Is it luck? Fate? Or is there something more, a force they've tapped into that others have ignored? Pause for a moment. Look around your life. Every triumph and every failure, every joy and every pain, you created it. And before you argue that circumstances are beyond your control, I urge you to consider this: what if everything you've experienced is the result of this secret power you've been unknowingly using, but without direction? Are you ready to discover what this power is? Are you ready to unlock the part of you that was designed to mirror the divine? Stay with me, and by the end of this message, you will not only understand what this power is, but also how to use it to transform your life completely. Imagination is not a mere daydream or a fleeting thought. It is the divine engine of creation. God, in His infinite wisdom, gifted you this extraordinary ability to see beyond your current reality, to dream of what could be, and to mold the unseen into existence. It is through imagination that the invisible becomes visible and the impossible becomes possible. Consider this: every great invention, every masterpiece, every breakthrough humanity has ever witnessed began in the mind of someone who dared to imagine it. Before the light bulb illuminated the world, it was a vision in the mind of Edison. Before skyscrapers pierced the heavens, they were sketches in the minds of architects. And before any meaningful change occurs in your life, it must first be born in the sacred space of your imagination. Most people underestimate the power of their imagination. They allow it to wander aimlessly, focusing on fears, doubts, and limitations. But what if you took control of it? What if, instead of imagining failure, you envisioned success? What if you used your mind not to replay the disappointments of the past, but to create the life you truly desire? Imagination is the preview of life's coming attractions. It is God's way of showing you what is possible when you align your thoughts with your desires. Close your eyes for a moment and picture the life you want. See it clearly, as if it is already yours. Feel the emotions of living that life: joy, peace, abundance. This is not fantasy. This is the first step in turning your desires into reality. You are not bound by the circumstances of today. You are only bound by the limits of your imagination. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. But to unleash this power, you must cultivate your imagination deliberately. Feed it with visions of greatness. Remove the clutter of negativity and doubt that clouds its potential. Imagination is not limited by time, space, or resources. It doesn't care about your current situation, your bank account, or the opinions of others. It simply responds to the clarity and conviction of your vision. God has given you this sacred tool, and it is up to you to wield it with purpose and precision. Remember, imagination is the first act of creation. In the beginning, God Himself imagined the heavens and the earth before they came into being. You were created in His image, which means you possess the same creative power. Whatever you imagine with faith and persistence will manifest in your reality. Faith is the divine spark that brings imagination to life. Without faith, even the most vivid visions remain dormant, locked in the realm of possibilities. Faith is not just belief, it is the absolute conviction that what you see in your mind and feel in your heart is as real as the air you breathe. It is the force that bridges the gap between imagination and reality. Faith is not passive, it is active. It requires you to act and think as though your desires are already fulfilled. When you have faith, you don't hope for something to happen, you know it will. You don't ask, what if it doesn't work? Instead, you declare with unwavering certainty, it is done. Imagine a farmer planting seeds in the ground. He does not dig them up every day to see if they are growing. He waters them, tends to them, and trusts the process. That is faith in action. The same principle applies to the visions you hold in your imagination. Once you plant the seed of an idea, faith nurtures it and allows it to grow. But here's the truth: most people struggle with faith because they rely too heavily on what they can see with their eyes. They let the visible dictate the possible. Faith, however, is not about what you see, it's about what you know deep within your soul. It's about walking by faith, not by sight. Faith is the language of the divine. It signals to God that you trust Him, that you believe in His promises, and that you are ready to receive what He has already prepared for you. The moment you align your faith with your imagination, you activate a creative force that is unstoppable. Faith is not free from challenges. Doubts will whisper in your ear. Circumstances may seem to contradict your desires. People around you might scoff at your dreams. But true faith persists. It remains unshaken in the face of adversity, knowing that what is unseen is far greater than what is seen. Faith is not just a feeling, it is a decision. It is the choice to believe in the power of your imagination and in the promises of God, even when everything around you suggests otherwise. It is the courage to take steps toward your vision, even when the path is unclear. God has given you the ability to dream, but He has also given you the gift of faith to bring those dreams to life. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It is the engine that propels you forward when doubt tries to hold you back. You may not see how your vision will come to pass, but that's not your job. Your job is to imagine it, believe it, and act as if it is already yours. God's job is to make the way. Faith is the bridge between your current reality and the life you were destined to live. So dare to believe in what you cannot yet see. Dare to trust that God has already equipped you with everything you need to fulfill your purpose. When you combine imagination with faith, you unlock the divine power that has been waiting for you all along. Belief is the foundation upon which your reality is built. Every action you take, every decision you make, and every result you experience stems from one thing: what you believe to be true. God, in His infinite wisdom, created us to operate according to the power of belief. If your beliefs are aligned with your desires, the possibilities are endless. But if they are rooted in doubt, fear, or limitation, they will act as chains, holding you back from your true potential. Belief is more than a thought. It is the deep, unshakable conviction that what you accept as true will shape your life. Look at your current circumstances, your career, relationships, finances, and health. They are mirrors reflecting the beliefs you've held, whether consciously or unconsciously. Now ask yourself, what beliefs are you holding on to that no longer serve you? Maybe you believe that success is only for others, that love is hard to find, or that your past defines your future. These beliefs are not laws, they are constructs of your mind. And the moment you decide to change them, your reality begins to shift. God gave you the authority to choose your beliefs. You are not a victim of your thoughts, you are the master of them. When you align your beliefs with God's truth, you tap into a divine power that can move mountains. But here's the challenge: most people believe what they see, not what they want to see. They let external circumstances dictate their internal beliefs. This is backward. Reality is not something you passively experience, it is something you actively create. Your beliefs are the blueprint, and the world around you is the structure built from it. Imagine for a moment that you are building a house. If the blueprint is flawed, the house will be unstable. Similarly, if your beliefs are filled with doubt, fear, or lack, your life will reflect that instability. But if your beliefs are rooted in abundance, love, and faith, your reality will be a masterpiece. Belief is the fuel that powers your imagination and faith. Without it, even the grandest vision and strongest faith cannot manifest. This is why you must guard your beliefs fiercely. Surround yourself with people, ideas, and environments that nurture your dreams rather than diminish them. God has placed no limits on what you can achieve, but your beliefs can act as self-imposed barriers. Break free from them. Challenge every thought that tells you you can't, and replace it with the truth that with God, all things are possible. When you believe this at your core, you unlock the divine power within you. Words are not just sounds or symbols, they are creative forces. God Himself demonstrated this when He spoke the universe into being. "Let there be light," He said, and light appeared. In the same way, the words you speak have the power to shape your reality. This is a gift God has given to each of us, a divine ability to call things into existence. But most people misuse this power. They speak words of doubt, fear, and negativity, not realizing they are planting seeds that will grow into the very circumstances they wish to avoid. How often do you hear yourself say, "I can't, I'm not good enough," or "this will never happen for me"? Each time you do, you are reinforcing a reality that aligns with those words. Now, imagine the opposite. Imagine speaking words of faith, love, and abundance. Imagine declaring, "I am capable, I am worthy, and God's blessings are chasing me down." These words are not just affirmations, they are commands to the universe, aligning your reality with God's truth. When you speak, you are engaging with the same creative power that formed the world. Your words carry energy, intention, and authority. They have the power to uplift or destroy, to build or tear down. This is why it is vital to choose them wisely. Think of your words as seeds. What kind of garden are you planting with your speech? Are you sowing seeds of doubt and despair, or are you planting seeds of hope and abundance? Remember, every word you speak will bear fruit. It may not happen overnight, but rest assured it will come to pass. Some may wonder, how can I speak positively When my circumstances are negative, this is where faith and belief come into play. You must speak not as things are, but as you desire them to be. If you are facing lack, declare abundance. If you are surrounded by chaos, speak peace. If you feel weak, proclaim strength. God has given you the authority to speak life into your situation. But to do so effectively, you must align your words with your imagination and belief. It's not enough to say the right things, you must feel them, believe them, and persist in them. Speak as though your desires have already come to pass, and watch as your reality begins to align with your declarations. When you master the art of speaking life, you become a co-creator with God. You step into the fullness of the power He has entrusted to you. So speak boldly, speak confidently, and most importantly, speak with the unwavering faith that your words have the power to change everything. Focus is the laser-like precision that transforms scattered energy into a concentrated force. It is the ability to direct your thoughts, emotions, and actions toward a singular goal without distraction. God has gifted us this secret power, but many fail to use it effectively. Instead, they allow their minds to drift, pulled in 1,000 directions by external noise and internal doubt. Imagine a magnifying glass held under the sun. When its energy is dispersed, it warms but accomplishes little. However, when the lens focuses the sun's rays on a single point, it ignites a fire. This is the power of focus. Without it, your efforts may be warm but ineffective. With it, you can set the world ablaze with your purpose. Distractions are the enemy of focus. In today's world, they are everywhere: endless notifications, constant comparisons, and the ceaseless chatter of a busy mind. Most people allow these distractions to scatter their attention, robbing them of the energy needed to manifest their dreams. But you are different. You have the ability to train your focus, to shield your mind from what does not serve you, and to concentrate fully on what does. Focus is a choice. It is the discipline to say no to what is irrelevant so you can say yes to what matters. It is the art of holding your vision steady, even when the storms of life try to shake you. When you focus on your desires with unwavering clarity, you activate a divine force that works tirelessly on your behalf. Think about this: whatever you focus on expands. If you focus on lack, you will see more lack. If you focus on abundance, you will attract more abundance. This is not magic, it is a spiritual law. Your focus directs your energy, and your energy creates your reality. But focus requires more than intention, it demands persistence. It's easy to focus on your dreams when everything is going well, but true power lies in maintaining that focus when challenges arise. Doubts will creep in. Obstacles will appear. Others may try to pull you off course. This is when you must remind yourself of the power within you, a power given by God to stay the course no matter what. God did not give you this power so it could lie dormant. He entrusted you with focus so you could achieve what others deem impossible. Use it wisely. Block out the noise, silence the doubts, and fix your gaze on your vision. When you harness the strength of focus, nothing can stand in your way. Persistence is the divine force that turns failure into triumph. It is the power to keep moving forward, to keep believing, and to keep working, even when the odds seem stacked against you. God has given you this gift, knowing that the path to your dreams will not always be smooth. Persistence is the bridge that carries you from where you are to where you're meant to be. Many people give up too soon. They pray, dream, and take action, but the moment they face resistance, they retreat. They mistake temporary setbacks for permanent defeat. But here is the truth: success is not reserved for the most talented or the luckiest, it is reserved for those who refuse to quit. Persistence is not about perfection. It is not about getting everything right on the first try. It is about showing up day after day with faith in your heart and determination in your soul. Every great accomplishment in history is a testament to persistence. The Wright brothers didn't create flight in a single attempt. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb without countless failures. And your journey will not be without its trials. But if you persist, victory is inevitable. Persistence is fueled by your why. Why do you want what you desire? Why are you willing to endure the challenges? When your why is strong enough, nothing can deter you. Your purpose becomes your anchor, grounding you when the winds of doubt try to blow you off course. Understand these challenges are not barriers, they are stepping stones. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the blessings God has in store for you. And persistence transforms these challenges into lessons, and these lessons into breakthroughs. But persistence also requires trust in yourself, trust in the process, and trust in God's timing. Sometimes your efforts may not yield immediate results. The seed you planted may not sprout overnight. This is when persistence becomes your greatest ally. It reminds you to keep going, to keep believing, and to keep working, even when you cannot yet see the fruits of your labor. God has equipped you with everything you need to succeed, but He also requires you to play your part. Persistence is that part. It is your commitment to keep walking, even when the path is unclear. It is your refusal to give up, even when giving up seems easier. It is your declaration to the world that you will not stop until your vision becomes your reality. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your dreams. Persistence is not about speed, it is about progress. It is about staying the course, trusting that each effort, each moment of faith, and each act of courage is building the foundation for your success. Keep going. God's promises are always worth the wait. Gratitude is not merely a polite acknowledgement, it is a profound spiritual force. It is the secret key that unlocks the treasures of life. When you embrace gratitude, you align yourself with the abundance of God's creation. You begin to attract more of what you cherish and desire, because gratitude amplifies the energy of receiving. Too often, people focus on what they lack rather than what they already have. They look at their lives and see only the gaps, the missing pieces, the unfulfilled dreams. This mindset blocks the flow of blessings. But why would the universe pour more into a vessel that doesn't appreciate what it already holds? Gratitude, however, changes everything. It tells the universe, I am ready for more. Imagine walking through a lush garden. If you focus only on the weeds, you miss the beauty of the flowers. But if you appreciate the flowers, you nurture their growth. The same is true in life. Gratitude is the water that helps your blessings grow. When you give thanks for what you have, even the smallest things, you invite God to multiply them. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It turns your attention away from scarcity and redirects it to abundance. Consider this: you are alive. You have air to breathe, a heart that beats, and a mind capable of dreaming. These are gifts, yet how often do we take them for granted? When you start your day with gratitude for these simple yet profound blessings, you set a tone of abundance that carries through everything you do. Gratitude is not passive, it is active. It's not just about saying thank you when something good happens. It's about embodying a state of thankfulness in every moment, even when circumstances seem less than ideal. When you express gratitude for challenges, you transform them into opportunities. You see the lesson, the growth, the hidden blessing. Start practicing gratitude today. Write down 3 things you are thankful for every morning. Say thank you not just with your words, but with your actions, your attitude, and your energy. As you do, you'll notice a shift. The weight of worry will lift, replaced by a sense of peace and contentment. Gratitude is a magnet for miracles. It aligns you with the vibration of God's abundance and opens the floodgates for blessings to pour into your life. The more grateful you are, the more you will find to be grateful for. This is not just a nice idea, it is a divine law. Gratitude activates the power within you to manifest your desires and live in harmony with God's plan for your life. Visualization is the art of seeing with the mind what has not yet manifested in the physical world. It is God's way of allowing you to preview your destiny, to step into your desires before they become reality. When you visualize, you tap into the secret power of creation, a gift given to you by God Himself. Most people underestimate the power of their imagination. They see it as a child's plaything, not realizing it is one of the most potent tools they possess. Your imagination is the workshop where your dreams take shape. It is the canvas on which you paint the life you want. When used with intention, visualization becomes the bridge between your current reality and your ultimate destiny. The process is simple yet profound. Close your eyes and see yourself living the life you desire. Feel the emotions, the joy, the fulfillment, as though it is already yours. Don't just picture it, experience it. Engage all your senses. What does it look like, sound like, feel like? The more vivid your visualization, the stronger the impression it leaves on your subconscious mind. But visualization is not just about dreaming, it is about aligning. When you visualize consistently, you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the vision you hold. This alignment creates a magnetic pull, drawing the circumstances, opportunities, and people needed to bring your vision to life. Many people struggle with visualization because they doubt its power. They think, how can imagining something make it real? But consider this: everything that exists in the physical world began as a thought. The buildings, the inventions, the art, all of it was first conceived in someone's imagination. Visualization is simply the first step in the creative process. But God gave you the ability to imagine for a reason. He wants you to use this gift to co-create with Him, to bring forth the desires He has placed in your heart. When you visualize, you are not just daydreaming, you are partnering with the divine. Make visualization a daily practice. Set aside time each day to focus on your desires. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and step into the life you are creating. Let your imagination run free, unburdened by doubt or limitation. And as you visualize, hold on to the faith that what you see in your mind will soon be what you see with your eyes. Visualization is not just a tool, it is a discipline. The more you practice it, the more powerful it becomes. Over time, your visions will start to feel less like fantasies and more like previews of reality. And when that happens, you will know that you are on the verge of manifesting the life God intended for you. My friends, the secret power God has given us is not a mystery hidden away, but a gift lying dormant within us, waiting to be awakened. This power, the ability to transform our lives through belief, faith, focus, persistence, gratitude, visualization, and self-awareness, has been ours all along. Yet so many of us walk through life unaware, like a person carrying a key, but never realizing it unlocks the door to everything they've ever desired. Today I urge you to reclaim that power. Let go of the doubts that whisper, "This isn't for you," or the fears that say, "You are not ready." These gifts from God are for everyone, and they are especially for you. They are divine tools meant to help you rise above your circumstances, transcend your limitations, and create a life of purpose, abundance, and joy. Remember, your thoughts are seeds, your focus is the sun, your persistence is the rain, and your gratitude is the fertile soil in which miracles grow. When you align all these elements, you become unstoppable. You are not a victim of circumstances, you are the architect of your destiny. And as you begin to harness these gifts, don't forget the power of visualization. See your desires as though they are already here. Feel the emotions of success, fulfillment, and joy as if they are your current reality. This isn't wishful thinking, it is the divine method of creation. God Himself imagined the universe before He spoke it into being. Your visualization is a reflection of that same divine process. As we close, take a moment to realize how extraordinary you truly are. You were created by God to live a life of greatness, to experience love, abundance, and purpose. The power to achieve that life is already within you. All you need to do is believe in it, use it, and trust in the divine plan that guides your every step. Let this be the day you stop waiting and start acting. Let this be the day you awaken to the limitless potential God has placed within you. You are not here by accident, you are here for a purpose. Walk boldly in that truth. The world is waiting for you to rise. God is waiting for you to claim your power. Now is your time. Step forward, activate this divine gift, and create the life you were always meant to live. My dear friends, the greatest truth you will ever grasp is that the world reflects not who you wish to be, but who you believe you are. To rise above mediocrity, to claim the life you deserve, you must embody the assumption that you are the best. Not better than anyone else in ego or pride, but the best version of yourself, unapologetically confident, unwaveringly assured. Assumption is not just a fleeting thought or a passing idea, it is the foundation upon which your reality is built. To assume is to accept something as true without requiring evidence in the moment. This may seem irrational to the logical mind, but it is one of the most profound truths governing our existence. Your assumptions dictate your experiences because they shape the way you perceive yourself and the world around you. The key to transforming your life lies in mastering this simple yet powerful principle: you become what you assume yourself to be. Every individual carries within themselves a mental blueprint, a deep-seated collection of beliefs about who they are and what they are capable of. These beliefs act like invisible strings, pulling circumstances, people, and events into alignment with their assumptions. When you assume you are successful, confident, and deserving of the best, you naturally attract experiences that affirm this assumption. The same is true when you assume lack, failure, or unworthiness. The power does not lie in the world outside, but in the assumptions you choose to hold. Consider the profound connection between your inner state and your outer reality. Assumptions are not idle thoughts, they carry emotional weight and energy. When you repeatedly assume something, you begin to feel its reality. Feelings are the language of the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is the architect of your experiences. It takes your feelings as directives and works tirelessly to manifest them. This is why it is said, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." To assume a state with conviction and emotion is to instruct your subconscious to bring it to life. You may wonder, how can something so intangible as an assumption create tangible results? The answer lies in the way assumptions influence your behavior, decisions, and interactions. When you assume you are the best, you carry yourself with a quiet confidence that others cannot help but notice. You speak with authority, take bold actions, and seize opportunities that others might overlook. Your assumption shapes your vibration, the energy you project, and the world responds to this energy accordingly. It is not arrogance, it is alignment with your desired state. This process works for everyone, whether they are aware of it or not. The difference is that most people assume unconsciously, based on their past experiences or the opinions of others. They allow fear, doubt, and negativity to dominate their assumptions, not realizing that they are scripting a future they do not desire. But you have the power to take control. You can consciously choose your assumptions and rewrite the narrative of your life. To harness the power of assumption, you must first identify the beliefs you currently hold. Reflect on the areas of your life where you feel stuck or dissatisfied. Ask yourself, what am I assuming to be true about this situation? You may uncover limiting beliefs that have been silently shaping your reality. Once you recognize them, replace them with empowering assumptions. If you have been assuming lack, begin to assume abundance. If you have been assuming failure, start assuming success. This is not an overnight transformation, but a practice that requires persistence. The mind will resist at first because it clings to familiar patterns, but persistence is the secret ingredient. When you continue to affirm and assume your desired state, even in the face of contrary evidence, you begin to reprogram your subconscious mind. Over time, your new assumptions will feel as natural as your old ones, and your outer world will reflect the shift. The beauty of this process is its simplicity. You do not need to understand every detail of how it works, you only need to apply it. Begin to see yourself as the person you aspire to be. Close your eyes and imagine the life you desire, not as a distant dream but as a present reality. Feel the joy, confidence, and gratitude as if it were already yours. This act of assuming and feeling is the key to bringing your vision to life. When challenges arise, as they inevitably will, do not waver in your assumption. Remember, the outer world is only a reflection of your past assumptions. It may take time for the new reflection to appear, but it is coming. Trust in the process and remain steadfast in your belief. The power of assumption is the greatest gift you have been given. It is the secret to creating a life of limitless possibilities. You are not a victim of circumstances, you are the creator of them. Choose your assumptions wisely, for they are the seeds from which your reality grows. Assume greatness, assume abundance, assume joy, and watch as the world reshapes itself to align with your vision. The power is within you. Use it boldly, and life will respond in kind. The world you experience is a direct reflection of the image you hold within yourself. While this may sound abstract or mystical, it is a principle grounded in undeniable truth. Everything you encounter in your external life, your relationships, career, finances, and even your sense of fulfillment originates from the inner blueprint you carry. This inner image is not just a fleeting thought or a hopeful wish, it is the deep-seated concept of who you believe you are and what you believe is possible for you. Your inner image acts as a silent force shaping your reality. Like a projector casting a film onto a screen, your mind projects your self-concept onto the world around you. What you see externally is not separate from you, but is intimately connected to the beliefs, feelings, and assumptions you hold within. If you believe you are capable, worthy, and deserving, you will naturally attract situations and people that affirm these truths. Conversely, if you carry a sense of lack, failure, or unworthiness, your external experiences will reflect those inner limitations. This process begins in the subconscious mind, the part of you that operates beyond conscious thought. The subconscious does not judge or question the images you present to it. It simply accepts them as fact and works tirelessly to bring them into existence. If your inner image is one of confidence and success, your subconscious will guide your actions, choices, and responses in ways that align with that image. If your inner image is clouded with doubt or fear, it will work just as diligently to manifest those feelings into your reality. Think of your inner image as a mold. The outer circumstances of your life are the material that fills this mold, taking shape based on its design. If you wish to change the form of your external reality, you must first reshape the mold itself. This is not a matter of brute force or sheer willpower, it is about transforming your inner perception. When you shift your inner image, the outer world has no choice but to follow suit. This is a law as certain as gravity, one that operates without fail whether you are aware of it or not. The power of your inner image is evident in countless aspects of life. Consider the way you carry yourself when you feel confident versus when you feel insecure. Confidence radiates through your posture, tone of voice, and even your gaze. Others pick up on this energy and respond to it, often without realizing why. When your inner image is strong and positive, you exude an aura of self-assurance that naturally attracts success. On the other hand, an image of insecurity or doubt sends out a very different signal, one that repels opportunities and undermines your potential. Your inner image also determines how you interpret and respond to external events. Two people can face the same challenge, yet their reactions can be entirely different based on their self-concept. One may see the challenge as an opportunity to grow and thrive, while the other may see it as confirmation of their fears and limitations. It is not the event itself, but the lens through which it is viewed that makes the difference. This lens is shaped by your inner image, coloring every experience you have. Changing your inner image requires deliberate attention and practice. Start by becoming aware of the self-concept you currently hold. Ask yourself, how do I see myself? What beliefs do I have about my worth, my abilities, and my place in the world? Be honest in your reflection, for only by recognizing your current image can you begin to transform it. Once you are aware of your inner image, you can start to replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Use visualization as a tool to create a new mental blueprint. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living the life you desire. See yourself as confident, capable, and successful. Engage all your senses to make the image vivid and real. Feel the emotions that come with achieving your goals: joy, gratitude, and fulfillment. By repeatedly visualizing this ideal version of yourself, you impress it upon your subconscious mind. Affirmations can also be a powerful way to reinforce your new self-concept. Speak positive statements about yourself with conviction, such as, "I am worthy of success," or "I am confident and capable in all that I do." Over time, these affirmations will reshape your inner image, replacing doubt with certainty and fear with faith. Persistence is key. The outer world may take time to catch up to your new inner image, but do not let this discourage you. Trust that the transformation is happening, even if it is not immediately visible. The more consistently you hold your new image, the more aligned your outer reality will become. You are not a passive observer of life, but an active creator. The inner image you hold is the blueprint for everything you experience. By consciously shaping this image, you take control of your destiny. You have the power to design a life that reflects your highest aspirations and deepest desires. Embrace this truth and let the transformation begin from within. Confidence is not an accident of birth, a privilege reserved for the lucky few, or a trait that appears out of nowhere. It is a creation, a deliberate, conscious choice made repeatedly until it becomes second nature. The notion that confidence is a random or innate quality is a myth. In truth, anyone can cultivate confidence regardless of their past, circumstances, or perceived limitations. It begins with the way you see yourself and the assumptions you hold about your worth and abilities. At its core, confidence is a reflection of self-belief. It is not about being perfect or always knowing the right answer, but about trusting your ability to navigate life's uncertainties. This trust is built through consistent practice and intentional effort. Just as a sculptor shapes clay into a masterpiece through persistence and vision, you shape your confidence by choosing to see yourself as capable, worthy, and deserving, even when external evidence suggests otherwise. Confidence starts within. It begins with the thoughts you entertain about yourself. If you constantly dwell on your flaws, failures, or shortcomings, you will undermine your sense of self-worth. However, when you choose to focus on your strengths, achievements, and potential, you create a foundation for confidence to grow. This shift in focus is not about ignoring your imperfections, but about reframing them. Mistakes are not signs of inadequacy, they are stepping stones to mastery. Every successful person you admire has stumbled and fallen, yet their confidence grew because they saw these experiences as opportunities for growth, rather than as final judgments of their abilities. One of the most powerful ways to build confidence is to act as if you already possess it. This does not mean faking it in a superficial way, but embodying the qualities of a confident person in your thoughts, actions, and demeanor. Stand tall, speak with conviction, and approach challenges with the mindset that you are capable of overcoming them. When you act confidently, even if you don't feel it initially, your mind begins to align with this new reality. Over time, what starts as a deliberate choice becomes an authentic part of who you are. Confidence is also closely tied to preparation. When you invest time and effort into developing your skills and knowledge, you naturally feel more capable and assured. This is true in any area of life, whether it's your career, relationships, or personal goals. Preparation eliminates the fear of the unknown, replacing it with a sense of readiness. When you know you'll have done the work, you can face challenges with the calm assurance that you are equipped to handle them. Another essential aspect of confidence is resilience. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks are inevitable. However, confidence is not about avoiding difficulties, it is about how you respond to them. Resilient people understand that failure is not the opposite of success, but a part of the journey toward it. Each setback is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. By adopting this mindset, you develop a form of confidence that is unshakable, rooted in the belief that you can rise again, no matter how many times you fall. Your environment also plays a crucial role in shaping your confidence. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. The energy of those around you can either build your confidence or diminish it. Seek out mentors, friends, and communities that encourage your growth and celebrate your successes. Conversely, distance yourself from those who constantly criticize or belittle you, for their negativity can erode even the strongest foundation of self-belief. Confidence grows through consistent action. It is not enough to think about being confident, you must put your beliefs into practice. Take small steps outside your comfort zone each day, whether it's speaking up in a meeting, pursuing a new opportunity, or trying something you've never done before. Each time you push past fear and doubt, you reinforce the idea that you are capable of more than you imagined. These small victories accumulate, creating a momentum that propels you forward. It is also important to remember that confidence is not static, it is a dynamic quality that evolves with time and experience. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, and that's okay. Confidence is not about never feeling uncertain, but about choosing to move forward despite uncertainty. It is the courage to take action even when the outcome is unclear. Confidence is a gift you give yourself. It is a declaration of your worth and potential, a commitment to believe in yourself even when no one else does. It is not something you wait for or hope to acquire. It is something you create moment by moment through your thoughts, actions, and choices. When you embrace this truth, you unlock a wellspring of inner strength that can carry you through any challenge. You are not confined by the limits of your past or the opinions of others. You have the power to create a version of yourself that is confident, capable, and unstoppable. It starts with a single choice to see yourself as the person you aspire to be and to act as if that vision is already true. In doing so, you transform your inner world and your outer reality follows suit. Confidence is not a coincidence, it is a creation, and you are the creator. The journey to transforming your life begins with an understanding of a profound yet often overlooked truth. You must first feel something to see it manifest in your reality. This principle is not rooted in wishful thinking or blind optimism, but in the dynamic relationship between your inner emotional state and the external world you experience. The emotions you cultivate within you act as powerful forces, shaping the outcomes and circumstances of your life. To feel something is to embody the reality of it before it physically manifests. It requires you to align your emotions and inner state with the outcome you desire, even if that outcome seems distant or impossible in the moment. The key lies in experiencing the fulfillment of your desire, as though it has already happened. This is not merely pretending, it is immersing yourself in the feeling of having, being, or doing what you aspire to. When you adopt this state of mind and heart, you begin to magnetize the people, opportunities, and circumstances that bring your vision into existence. Consider for a moment the way emotions influence your actions. When you feel confident, you naturally carry yourself with assurance, make bold decisions, and attract positive responses from others. When you feel doubt or fear, your actions tend to reflect hesitation, and your reality often mirrors that uncertainty. Feeling creates momentum, it sets the tone for your behavior, thoughts, and choices. By intentionally cultivating the feelings associated with your desired reality, you shift into alignment with the experiences that match those emotions. The power of feeling stems from its ability to communicate with your subconscious mind. While your conscious mind processes logic and reason, your subconscious responds to emotion and imagery. It cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is physically real. When you vividly feel the emotions of your desired state, your subconscious accepts it as truth and begins to work in harmony with the universe to make it a reality. Your feelings serve as instructions to your subconscious, guiding it to bring your inner vision into external form. This principle does not require you to ignore the challenges and difficulties you face. Rather, it calls on you to rise above them by focusing on the emotional experience of your desired outcome. If you long for abundance, feel the joy and security that comes with having more than enough. If you seek love, immerse yourself in the warmth and connection of a loving relationship. These feelings are not dependent on your current circumstances, they are choices you make in the present moment. The act of feeling is a skill that requires practice. Begin by quieting your mind and turning inward. Visualize your desired reality as vividly as possible. Engage all your senses, see the colors, hear the sounds, and feel the textures of this imagined world. Most importantly, tune into the emotions it evokes. How does it feel to live this life? Let those emotions fill your being until they become your dominant state. Repeat this practice regularly, allowing the feelings to deepen and become more natural over time. As you cultivate these feelings, you may notice subtle changes in your external reality. Opportunities may arise, people may enter your life, and circumstances may shift in unexpected ways. This is not coincidence, but the result of your inner alignment influencing the outer world. Feeling is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the unseen and the seen. It transforms abstract desires into tangible experiences. It is important to approach this process with faith and patience. The results may not appear immediately, and doubts may arise along the way. In these moments, remind yourself that the act of feeling is not about forcing an outcome, but about embodying the essence of your desire. Trust that the external world will catch up to the inner reality you have created. Your role is to remain steadfast in your feelings, even when circumstances seem unchanged. Feeling it to see it is not a passive process. It calls for active participation in shaping your inner world. It requires you to take responsibility for your emotions and to choose them consciously, rather than allowing external circumstances to dictate how you feel. This shift in perspective is empowering, as it places the keys to your reality firmly in your hands. When you truly feel the fulfillment of your desire, you align yourself with the energy of that reality. The universe responds to this alignment, orchestrating events and experiences that reflect your inner state. This is not magic or wishful thinking. It is a natural law that operates whether you are aware of it or not. By consciously harnessing this law, you become the creator of your life, shaping it according to your highest vision. To feel it to see, it is to live as if your dreams are already realized. It is to embrace the joy, gratitude, and confidence that come with knowing you are the architect of your destiny. As you practice this principle, you will find that your reality begins to transform, not through effort or struggle, but through the power of your inner state. Your feelings are the seeds of your future. Nurture them, and watch them grow into the life you have always imagined. The world is a mirror, reflecting back to you not just what you desire, but what you embody. It cannot give you what you merely wish for if your inner state contradicts it. Instead, it responds to the essence of who you are and what you consistently project through your thoughts, feelings, and actions. To change the reflection in the mirror, you must first change the image you hold of yourself within. When you embody the reality you seek, the world has no choice but to align with it. Embodying something means becoming it in every sense, mentally, emotionally, and energetically. It requires that you fully identify with the state of having or being that which you desire. This is not a surface-level affirmation or a fleeting visualization, but a deep and sustained inner conviction. When you embody a state, it becomes your natural way of being, and your actions, speech, and demeanor flow effortlessly from it. The process begins with self-concept. Who do you believe you are at your core? Your self-concept is the foundation upon which your entire reality is built. If you see yourself as unworthy, lacking, or incapable, the world will reflect those beliefs back to you through circumstances and interactions. However, when you choose to see yourself as deserving, abundant, and capable, your external experiences will begin to match that internal reality. The shift starts within, with the decision to embody a new version of yourself. One of the most profound truths is that you do not need external validation to embody a desired state. Many people wait for circumstances to change before they allow themselves to feel successful, loved, or fulfilled. This is backward thinking. The power lies in reversing this dynamic. Feel and act as if you already are the person you aspire to be, and the world will confirm it. Embodying your desired state sends a clear message to the universe that you are ready to receive it. This embodiment is not about pretending or forcing yourself to feel something unnatural. It is about aligning your inner state with the reality you seek to create. Suppose you desire financial abundance. Embodying this state does not mean reckless spending or ignoring your current financial responsibilities. It means adopting the mindset, confidence, and habits of someone who is already abundant. When you embody abundance, you approach life with gratitude, generosity, and trust, knowing that there is always enough. If you seek love, embody the qualities of someone who is deeply loved. This does not mean seeking validation from others, but rather cultivating self-love, confidence, and openness within yourself. When you embody love, you radiate an energy that naturally attracts harmonious relationships. You no longer operate from a place of lack or desperation, but from a state of fullness and worthiness. The world cannot deny what you embody, because embodiment is the language of creation. When you fully step into a state, you emit a frequency that resonates with that reality. Just as a tuning fork causes nearby objects to vibrate at the same frequency, your inner state influences the world around you. This resonance draws people, opportunities, and circumstances into your life that match what you have embodied. It is not a matter of luck or chance, but a reflection of the law of alignment. The key to embodiment is consistency. It is not enough to embody your desired state for a moment or two, and then revert to old patterns of doubt and fear. True embodiment requires persistence and commitment. It means returning to the feeling and conviction of your desired state, even when external circumstances appear unchanged. Over time, as you remain steadfast in your embodiment, the outer world will begin to shift to match your inner reality. One of the challenges of embodiment is overcoming the temptation to react to appearances. The external world may initially reflect your past beliefs and assumptions, creating the illusion that nothing is changing. In these moments, it is crucial to remain anchored in your new state of being. Trust that the external reality is catching up to your inner transformation. The delay is not a sign of failure, but a natural part of the process. To embody something is to live as though it is already true. This does not mean denying your current reality, but rather choosing to focus on the reality you wish to create. It is a powerful act of faith and self-empowerment. When you embody your desires, you take control of your destiny, refusing to be defined by circumstances or limitations. You become the creator of your reality, shaping it from the inside out. The world cannot deny what you embody, because embodiment is the ultimate expression of belief. When you fully believe in something, it becomes real to you, and the world must reflect it. This is not a mystical concept, but a natural law of life. Your inner state sets the tone for your external experiences, and the more you align with what you desire, the more effortlessly it flows into your life. Embodying your desires is a choice, a moment-by-moment decision to align with your highest vision of yourself. It is a practice of faith, focus, and intentionality. As you master this practice, you will find that the world responds to you in ways that seem miraculous. But it is not a miracle, it is the power of embodiment in action. Whatever you consistently embody, the world must acknowledge. It has no choice but to reflect back to you the truth of who you have become. The art of persistence in assumption is the cornerstone of creation. It is the quiet yet resolute decision to hold firm to your vision, no matter the evidence presented by your current circumstances. To persist in the assumption is to walk by faith, not by sight, trusting in the unseen reality you are creating. This is not merely a test of patience, but a demonstration of unwavering belief in the power of your imagination and the inevitability of your desires becoming manifest. Assumption begins with the conscious selection of a desired state. You choose, with intention, the reality you wish to experience. This is not idle daydreaming, but a deliberate act of creation. You craft a vision of your future self, alive and vibrant within your mind, and you assume it to be true. This assumption, however, is not a fleeting thought or a momentary wish. It is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your consciousness. For it to grow, you must nurture it with persistence. Persistence requires discipline. The mind is naturally inclined to revert to familiar patterns and react to the external world. It may question the validity of your assumption or be swayed by appearances that seem to contradict your vision. These are the moments that test your resolve. Will you abandon your assumption at the first sign of difficulty, or will you reaffirm it, choosing to remain steadfast in your belief? To persist means to hold on, not out of desperation, but with quiet confidence, knowing that your inner state will eventually reshape your external reality. The process of persistence is not about forcing or controlling outcomes, but about alignment. When you persist in the assumption, you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you wish to create. You do not waver between doubt and belief, but instead, you dwell consistently in the feeling of your desire fulfilled. This emotional alignment is crucial because it impresses your subconscious mind with the reality of your assumption, prompting it to act in ways that bring about your desired outcome. Persistence does not mean ignoring the present or denying your current circumstances. It means refusing to be defined by them. You acknowledge what is but choose to focus on what can be. This choice is an act of faith, a recognition that the external world is malleable and shaped by your inner convictions. When you persist in your assumption, you send a clear signal to the universe you are committed to your vision, regardless of temporary appearances. One of the most powerful tools for persistence is imagination. Imagination is the workshop of creation, where you rehearse your desired reality until it becomes a natural part of your inner world. Through imagination, you immerse yourself in the experience of your wish fulfilled, engaging all your senses to make it vivid and real. As you persist in imagining your desired state, it begins to feel more natural, more believable. Over time, it becomes your dominant state of being, and the external world adjusts to reflect this new reality. The journey of persistence is often marked by moments of doubt and resistance. These are not signs of failure, but opportunities for growth. When doubt arises, it is an invitation to deepen your commitment to your assumption. Instead of succumbing to fear or frustration, use these moments to reaffirm your vision. Remind yourself why you chose this assumption and why you believe in its inevitability. With each reaffirmation, you strengthen your conviction and fortify your inner resolve. It is important to approach persistence with a sense of ease and trust. This is not a battle to be fought or a struggle to endure, but a natural unfolding of your desired reality. When you persist in the assumption, you do so with the understanding that creation is a process, not an event. There is no need to rush or force. Your only task is to remain faithful to your vision. Trust that the seeds you have planted will grow in their own time, nurtured by your unwavering belief. Persistence also requires a willingness to let go of how and when your desire will manifest. The how is not your concern, nor is the timing. Your role is to embody the state of your wish fulfilled and to trust that the universe will arrange the details in ways you cannot foresee. When you release the need to control the process, you allow creation to flow naturally and effortlessly. As you persist in your assumption, you will notice subtle changes in your inner state and your external reality. Opportunities will arise, people will appear, and circumstances will shift, all aligning with your vision. These changes may seem coincidental, but they are the result of your persistent alignment with your desired reality. Each manifestation, no matter how small, is a testament to the power of your persistence and a reminder that you are the creator of your experience. To persist in the assumption is to embody the truth of your desire, even before it is visible. It is to walk with the certainty that what you have imagined is already yours, simply awaiting its expression in the physical world. This persistence is not an act of willpower, but a quiet, unwavering faith in the creative power of your inner world. Hold fast to your assumption and let the world rearrange itself to match the vision you carry within. In conclusion, the power to shape your reality lies within you, fueled by the assumptions you hold and the persistence with which you embody them. Your inner world is the origin of every external experience, and by aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desired state, you transform your life from the inside out. The journey requires faith, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to your vision, but the rewards are limitless. The world cannot deny what you embody, and through persistence in your assumption, you align with the natural laws of creation. Trust the process, remain steadfast, and watch as the unseen becomes seen, the imagined becomes real, and your dreams manifest in ways beyond your expectations. Thank you for opening your heart and mind to this truth. May you walk forward with clarity, confidence, and the profound knowledge that your reality is yours to create. Thank you. My friends, as we step into 2025, I invite you to embrace a revolutionary truth. The most important work you will ever do is the work you do on yourself. This year is not for chasing others, seeking approval, or scattering your energy in countless directions. This is the year you turn inward and reclaim your power. The idea that your inner world shapes your outer world is not just a philosophical concept, but a profound truth that governs every aspect of life. It is a principle rooted in the understanding that your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions create the reality you experience. Life is not something that happens to you, it is a projection of what happens within you. To grasp this is to step into your true power as the architect of your destiny. Consider for a moment the mind as a garden. Every thought is a seed, every belief a root, and every emotion the water that nourishes the soil. What grows in this garden depends entirely on what you cultivate. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation, your outer world will reflect scarcity, conflict, and frustration. But if you sow seeds of love, confidence, and abundance, you will experience a life that mirrors those qualities. This is not a matter of mere positive thinking, but a deliberate practice of aligning your inner state with the reality you wish to create. Your mind operates as a powerful magnet, attracting circumstances, people, and opportunities that match the energy you emit. When your thoughts are dominated by lack or negativity, you unconsciously draw more of the same into your life. Conversely, when you focus on gratitude, possibility, and fulfillment, your external circumstances begin to shift in miraculous ways. The outer world is a mirror, and it reflects not what you want, but what you are. If you long for love yet carry the belief that you are unworthy of it, the mirror will reflect relationships filled with distance or heartbreak. If you desire success, but harbor deep doubts about your abilities, the reflection will be missed opportunities and unfulfilled goals. The mirror does not judge, it simply reflects. To change the reflection, you must change the source. The transformation begins with awareness. Most people live on autopilot, unaware of the thoughts and beliefs that dominate their inner world. They react to external circumstances without realizing that these circumstances are often the result of their own mental patterns. Awareness is the first step to breaking free from this cycle. By observing your thoughts without judgment, you begin to see the connection between your inner dialogue and your outer experiences. Once aware, the next step is to consciously choose the thoughts and beliefs you wish to nurture. This requires more than fleeting affirmations. It demands a deep commitment to reprogramming your mind. Visualization is a powerful tool in this process. By vividly imagining the life you desire, as if it were already yours, you impress this image upon your subconscious mind. Over time, the subconscious, which cannot distinguish between reality and imagination, begins to align your actions, emotions, and energy with this vision. The outer world then responds to this shift in alignment. Emotion plays a critical role in this process. Thoughts alone are not enough, they must be charged with the feelings that correspond to the reality you wish to create. If you think of abundance but feel fear or doubt, the emotional charge negates the thought. However, when you think of abundance and feel the joy, freedom, and gratitude that come with it, you create a powerful signal that resonates with the energy of abundance. This resonance attracts circumstances that match it. Doubt and fear often arise as you embark on this journey of transformation. They are remnants of old conditioning, and their presence does not mean you have failed. On the contrary, they are opportunities to reaffirm your commitment to your vision. Instead of resisting these emotions, acknowledge them, understand their origins, and release them with love. In doing so, you create space for new beliefs to take root. The external world is also a teacher, offering feedback on your inner state. Challenges and obstacles are not punishments but mirrors, revealing areas where your inner alignment needs refinement. Instead of viewing difficulties as barriers, see them as opportunities to grow and align more deeply with your desired reality. Each challenge carries a gift if you are willing to look within and learn from it. The power of your inner world is limitless, but it requires consistency. This is not a one-time effort but a daily practice. Just as a garden requires regular care, your mind needs constant tending. Meditate to quiet the noise of the external world. Journal to uncover hidden beliefs. Surround yourself with people, books, and environments that support your growth. These practices help you maintain the clarity and focus needed to shape your outer world intentionally. When you master your inner world, you realize that nothing outside of you has power over you. Circumstances no longer dictate your state of being. Instead, your state of being dictates your circumstances. This realization frees you from the illusion of victimhood and places you firmly in the role of creator. You are no longer at the mercy of life, you are life itself, unfolding in alignment with your vision. The beauty of this truth is its simplicity. You do not need external tools, validation, or approval to change your life. Everything you need is already within you. By aligning your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the reality you wish to experience, you unlock the infinite potential of creation. Your inner world shapes your outer world, and by mastering this principle, you can create a life that reflects the deepest desires of your heart. In a world that never seems to stop, where every moment is filled with alerts, demands, and distractions, the greatest gift you can give yourself is silence. The external world is a constant stream of noise, voices clamoring for your attention, expectations pulling you in different directions, and the unending barrage of information that keeps your mind perpetually occupied. Amid all this chaos, the truth of who you are, what you desire, and what truly matters gets drowned out. To reclaim your peace and power, you must learn to silence the noise of the external world and turn inward to the stillness where all answers reside. The external world thrives on your attention. Advertisements beg for you to buy, social media vies for your validation, and the opinions of others infiltrate your mind. These forces are designed to distract you from yourself, to keep you engaged with everything but your inner truth. The more you chase external noise, the further you drift from the clarity and peace that lie within. Silence is not just the absence of sound, it is the absence of unnecessary influence. In silence, you can finally hear the quiet whisper of your intuition, the voice that is often overshadowed by the chaos around you. This is not to say that the external world is inherently bad. It serves its purpose, offering experiences and lessons that shape your journey. However, when the external becomes your focus, when you allow it to dictate your emotions and decisions, you lose touch with your inner guidance. The noise of the world is loud, but its power over you is an illusion. You have the choice to step back, to disengage, and to listen to something far more profound, the stillness within. Creating silence in a noisy world begins with boundaries. You must protect your energy as you would a precious resource. Not every conversation needs your participation, not every opinion deserves your response, and not every demand requires your attention. By saying no to what does not serve your highest self, you say yes to the space where silence can flourish. This is not selfish, it is necessary. Without boundaries, your mind becomes a battleground for external forces, leaving little room for the calm that nurtures your soul. Silence is also a practice of presence. In a society addicted to speed and productivity, pausing can feel unnatural, even uncomfortable. Yet it is in the pause that life reveals its depth. When you allow yourself to be fully present, you break free from the grip of past regrets and future anxieties. The present moment is the only place where silence truly exists. By grounding yourself in the now, you step into a space where external noise loses its hold, and the beauty of simplicity emerges. Disengaging from the external does not mean isolating yourself or rejecting the world. It means choosing to interact with it on your terms. It means filtering what you allow into your mind and heart. Ask yourself, does this conversation uplift me? Does this news feed inspire me? Does this relationship align with my values? If the answer is no, give yourself permission to step away. Silence is not avoidance, it is discernment. It is the recognition that not everything deserves a place in your sacred inner world. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate silence is through solitude. Time alone is not loneliness, it is a return to self. In solitude, you reconnect with your thoughts and emotions without interference. You begin to understand what truly drives you, what you long for, and what no longer serves you. Solitude is the fertile ground where your dreams take root, free from the distractions that often keep them buried. Meditation is another doorway to silence. In meditation, you train your mind to release the chatter of the external world and find stillness within. At first, the mind may resist, filling the quiet with restless thoughts. But with practice, the noise subsides, and a deeper silence emerges, a silence that is not empty but full of clarity and peace. This silence is where creativity, intuition, and inspiration are born. It is the space where you remember that you are more than your circumstances, more than the noise of the world. Technology, while a powerful tool, is one of the greatest sources of noise in modern life. Constant notifications, endless scrolling, and the illusion of connection often leave you feeling more disconnected than ever. To silence this noise, you must take control of your relationship with technology. Set limits on your screen time. Create moments in your day where you disconnect entirely. Use technology intentionally as a tool to serve your growth, not as a distraction from your inner work. The silence you seek is not something you need to create, it is already within you. The noise of the external world simply obscures it. By stepping away from the distractions and reconnecting with yourself, you uncover the stillness that has always been there. This silence is a source of strength, clarity, and wisdom. It is the foundation upon which you can build a life aligned with your highest vision. In silencing the noise of the external world, you do not lose anything, you gain everything. You gain the ability to hear your own voice, to trust your own path, and to live a life that is true to you. The world will continue to spin, and the noise will persist, but it does not have to consume you. When you choose silence, you reclaim your power. You remember that the external world is but a reflection of your inner state, and in that silence you find the freedom to shape it on your terms. Life offers a choice to be the creator of your experiences or the reactor to your circumstances. Many move through life in a state of reactivity, allowing external events to dictate their emotions, decisions, and overall state of being. In this mode, you become a passenger, carried by the currents of life, often feeling powerless and at the mercy of forces beyond your control. But to become the creator is to take the reins of your destiny. It is to step into the understanding that your thoughts, beliefs, and actions shape the life you live. The difference between the two lies not in what happens to you, but in how you choose to respond and the role you assume in your story. Reacting is easy, it is the default state for most. When something goes wrong, the immediate instinct is to blame the situation, people, or even fate. This reaction often comes from a place of fear, frustration, or lack. It's a conditioned response rooted in the belief that life happens to you rather than through you. Reactivity keeps you tied to external circumstances, perpetually waiting for something or someone to change so you can feel better. This cycle creates a sense of powerlessness, as if you are a bystander in your own life. On the other hand, becoming the creator requires awareness, intention, and responsibility. It begins with recognizing that the world outside is a reflection of the world within. Every thought you hold, every belief you nurture, and every feeling you embody contributes to the reality you experience. This is not to say that you control every event or person in your life, but you do have the power to control how you interpret, respond to, and grow from them. This shift from reaction to creation is transformative. It places you in the role of the artist, painting your life with the colors of your choosing. As a creator, your first tool is your mind. Thoughts are not fleeting, inconsequential things. They are seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious. Over time, these seeds grow into the experiences and outcomes that define your reality. When you think with intention, focusing on what you desire rather than what you fear, you align your inner world with the outcomes you wish to see in the outer world. It is not enough to simply want something. You must think, feel, and act as though it is already yours. This alignment is what transforms desire into reality. Emotion is the fuel of creation. While thoughts set the direction, emotions provide the energy. To become the creator, you must cultivate emotions that resonate with the reality you want to experience. If you seek joy, practice gratitude. If you seek abundance, feel the freedom and satisfaction that come with having enough. Too often, people wait for circumstances to generate these feelings, but as the creator, you understand that it works the other way around. By embodying the emotions of your desired reality now, you draw that reality closer to you. Becoming the creator also means embracing responsibility. This is not about blame or self-criticism, but about owning your role in shaping your life. Responsibility empowers you because it reminds you that you are never truly stuck. Every moment is an opportunity to choose differently, to think differently, and to act differently. Even in the face of challenges, you retain the power to create meaning, growth, and transformation. As long as you are willing to take ownership, you remain the author of your story. Reacting often stems from fear of losing control, being hurt, or failing. But as the creator, you operate from a place of trust. You trust that your inner alignment will manifest in your external reality. You trust that challenges are not punishments but opportunities to refine your vision and strengthen your resolve. This trust allows you to move through life with confidence and peace, unshaken by temporary setbacks. Action is where creation becomes tangible. Thought and emotion are powerful, but they must be coupled with inspired action to bring your vision to life. The difference between reactive action and creative action lies in intention. Reactive actions are hurried, driven by anxiety or a need to fix. Creative actions are deliberate, guided by clarity and purpose. They are not always grand gestures. Sometimes they are small, consistent steps that, over time, build the reality you envision. Being a creator does not mean controlling every detail of life. There will always be factors beyond your influence. But even in those moments, you have the power to choose your response. You can see obstacles as insurmountable or as stepping stones. You can let disappointment define you or use it as fuel for growth. The creator sees every experience as part of a greater masterpiece, knowing that even the challenges serve a purpose in the grand design. The journey from reactor to creator is not a one-time decision but a daily practice. It requires mindfulness to catch yourself in moments of reactivity and the courage to choose creation instead. It requires patience, as not every shift will yield immediate results. And it requires faith in the process, trusting that the reality you seek is already taking shape, even if it is not yet visible. To become the creator is to reclaim your power. It is to realize that you are not a victim of life's circumstances, but the architect of your destiny. When you create rather than react, you align yourself with the infinite potential within you. You step into your role as a deliberate, conscious participant in the unfolding of your life. And in doing so, you transform not just your own reality, but the world around you. True transformation begins with a single, profound realization: you must love yourself fully and unconditionally. Without self-love, no amount of external change can bring lasting fulfillment. It is the foundation upon which all growth, healing, and personal evolution are built. When you cultivate self-love, you align with your intrinsic worth and recognize that you are deserving of all the joy, peace, and abundance life has to offer. This love is not born out of arrogance or selfishness, but out of an understanding that you cannot give to others, achieve your goals, or navigate life's challenges unless you first honor yourself. Self-love is the courage to accept yourself as you are in this moment. It means embracing your flaws, imperfections, and past mistakes without judgment. So often people seek transformation because they believe they are broken or unworthy. But transformation does not come from fixing what is broken. It comes from realizing that you were never broken to begin with. You are a work in progress, and every part of you, both the light and the shadow, contributes to the unique being that you are. Self-love allows you to see yourself through a lens of compassion, where you no longer criticize or reject the parts of you that need the most care. To love yourself is to recognize your value, independent of external achievements or validation. Society often teaches us to measure our worth by what we accomplish, how others perceive us, or the roles we fulfill. This creates a cycle of striving, where we are constantly chasing something outside of ourselves to feel good enough. But the truth is, your worth is inherent. It does not fluctuate with success or failure, nor does it depend on the approval of others. Self-love anchors you in this truth, freeing you from the endless pursuit of external validation and allowing you to stand confidently in your own essence. When you love yourself, you set boundaries that protect your well-being. Many people struggle with saying no or prioritizing their needs because they fear disappointing others or being seen as selfish. But self-love reminds you that your time, energy, and emotional health are sacred. By honoring your limits, you teach others how to treat you and create space for what truly matters in your life. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are pathways to healthier, more authentic connections. When you operate from a place of self-love, you no longer sacrifice your peace to please others. Self-love is also the key to healing. Emotional wounds, traumas, and insecurities often linger because we resist confronting them. We bury our pain, hoping it will disappear, but it manifests in other ways through anxiety, anger, or self-sabotage. Loving yourself means having the courage to face these wounds with tenderness and understanding. It means forgiving yourself for past mistakes and releasing the shame or guilt that weighs you down. Healing is not a linear process, and it requires patience. But when you approach it with self-love, you create an environment where growth and recovery can flourish. Transformation through self-love is not about becoming someone new, it is about uncovering who you already are. Life's experiences, challenges, and conditioning often cause us to lose sight of our true essence. We begin to believe the stories we are told about who we should be, rather than embracing who we truly are. Self-love peels back these layers of doubt and fear, revealing the authentic self that has always been within. This authenticity becomes the foundation for any meaningful change. When you act from a place of self-love, your choices align with your deepest values and desires, rather than the expectations of others. One of the most powerful aspects of self-love is how it transforms your relationship with failure. Many people fear failure because they equate it with unworthiness. But when you love yourself, failure becomes an opportunity rather than a reflection of your value. You understand that mistakes are simply stepping stones on the path of growth. They do not define you, they refine you. Self-love gives you the resilience to try again, to learn from your experiences, and to keep moving forward, knowing that your worth is never diminished by setbacks. Self-love also expands your capacity to love others. You cannot pour from an empty cup. When you neglect your own needs, your relationships suffer, because you operate from a place of depletion rather than abundance. But when you prioritize self-love, you have more to give. Your love becomes unconditional, because it is not rooted in fear, neediness, or insecurity. Instead, it flows freely, unburdened by the expectation that others must fill the gaps in your self-worth. This creates deeper, more fulfilling connections, as you are able to give and receive love authentically. Cultivating self-love is a daily practice. It is found in the small, intentional choices you make to honor yourself. It is in the way you speak to yourself, the thoughts you entertain, and the actions you take to nurture your mind, body, and soul. It is in celebrating your successes, no matter how small, and in showing yourself kindness on the days when you stumble. Self-love is not a destination, it is a journey, one that evolves as you grow and change. As you build this foundation of self-love, transformation becomes inevitable. You begin to see yourself not as someone who needs to be fixed, but as someone who is continuously unfolding into their highest potential. You release the need to prove yourself and instead embrace the freedom to simply be. With self-love as your guide, you discover a strength and beauty within that no external circumstance can take away. You become the architect of your own life, creating a reality that reflects the love and respect you have for yourself. And in doing so, you transform not only your own world, but also the lives of those around you. The art of assumption is one of the most powerful tools for transforming your life, yet it remains elusive to many who are caught in the cycle of reacting to their current circumstances. Assumption is not mere wishful thinking, it is a deliberate act of aligning your inner state with the reality you desire, regardless of what the outer world may presently show. Mastering this art is to step into the role of creator, where you shape your experiences through the lens of belief, imagination, and unwavering conviction. At its core, the art of assumption begins with the understanding that reality is fluid and shaped by consciousness. The external world is not fixed, it is a mirror reflecting the dominant thoughts and beliefs held within you. When you assume something to be true, you impress this belief upon your subconscious mind. The subconscious, acting without question or resistance, begins to orchestrate events, people, and circumstances to bring this assumption into being. It does so not because of magical thinking, but because of the alignment between your inner state and the energy you project outward. The first step in mastering assumption is clarity. You must know what you desire with specificity and conviction. Vague wishes yield vague results. Instead of saying, "I want to be successful," assume, "I am a successful entrepreneur, thriving in my chosen field." The more vivid and detailed your assumption, the more powerful its impact. Engage all your senses, see, feel, hear, and even taste the reality you wish to experience. This sensory engagement bridges the gap between imagination and belief, making your assumption feel real and attainable. Next comes the act of embodying the assumption. It is not enough to think about your desired outcome, you must live as though it is already yours. This means aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you are assuming. If you assume yourself to be confident, how would you think, speak, and carry yourself? If you assume abundance, how would you approach your finances, relationships, and opportunities? Embodying the assumption creates a resonance within you that draws the corresponding reality into your experience. One of the most challenging aspects of mastering assumption is releasing doubt. The current circumstances of your life may contradict the reality you are seeking to create. These contradictions can provoke skepticism, causing you to waver in your belief. But doubt is the enemy of assumption. It creates resistance that blocks the flow of manifestation. To overcome doubt, focus not on what you see, but on what you know to be true in your mind and heart. The outer world is a delayed reflection. It takes time to catch up with the changes you make internally. Trust the process and remain steadfast in your assumption, even when the evidence is not immediately apparent. Another key to mastering assumption is persistence. Change rarely happens overnight. The mind is a creature of habit, and it often clings to old patterns and beliefs, even when they no longer serve you. Persistence is the act of reaffirming your assumption, day after day, until it becomes the dominant thought in your consciousness. This repetition rewires your subconscious mind, replacing doubt with certainty and fear with faith. Over time, the assumption becomes so ingrained that it feels natural, and when it feels natural, it manifests. The power of assumption is amplified when coupled with emotion. Emotion is the energy that fuels your thoughts and gives them life. To assume a reality without feeling it is like planting a seed without watering it. It cannot grow. When you assume, immerse yourself in the emotions that come with your desired reality. Feel the joy, gratitude, and excitement as though the outcome has already been achieved. This emotional engagement not only reinforces your assumption, but also raises your vibrational state, aligning you with the frequency of your desired reality. A vital component of mastering the art of assumption is detachment. While it may seem contradictory, true assumption requires letting go of the need to control how or when your desire will manifest. Clinging to the outcome creates tension and signals to your subconscious mind that you do not truly believe in the reality you are assuming. Detachment is not indifference, it is a state of trust and surrender. It is the knowing that what you have assumed is already yours, even if the evidence has not yet appeared. The art of assumption also involves self-awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts and beliefs that dominate your mind throughout the day. Are they aligned with the reality you wish to create, or are they rooted in fear and lack? Assumptions are formed not only through deliberate acts, but also through habitual thinking. By cultivating mindfulness, you can catch and replace limiting assumptions with empowering ones, ensuring that your inner dialogue supports your desired outcome. Ultimately, mastering the art of assumption is about stepping into your power as a creator. It is about recognizing that you are not at the mercy of external circumstances, but are instead the architect of your reality. This power comes with responsibility, as you must choose your assumptions wisely. What you assume consistently, you will inevitably experience. Therefore, assume the best for yourself and for others. Assume success, happiness, health, and abundance, not because you see them in the present moment, but because you know they are yours to claim. The beauty of assumption is that it does not require external validation or permission. It begins and ends within you. When you master this art, you transcend the limitations of the physical world and step into a life of infinite possibilities. You become the conscious creator of your destiny, shaping your world with the power of belief and the certainty of imagination. The year of total commitment to self is a powerful declaration to step into a life that is fully aligned with your deepest desires, needs, and aspirations. It's a commitment to stop living for others' approval, expectations, or validation, and instead place yourself at the center of your own universe. In a world that constantly demands attention from every angle, it's easy to lose sight of your true self. The distractions, pressures, and opinions of others can cloud your judgment and steer you off course. But when you commit to yourself, you break free from the noise and reclaim your power, your purpose, and your peace. Total commitment to self requires a shift in perspective. It means understanding that self-care is not selfish, but necessary for your well-being. To give to others, to pursue your passions, and to show up as your best self in the world, you must first nurture yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and when you neglect your own needs, desires, and boundaries, you create a life of burnout, resentment, and dissatisfaction. This year, commit to filling your cup first. Prioritize your health, your joy, your passions, and your mental clarity. You deserve that, and only when you honor yourself can you fully give to others from a place of abundance. A key element of this commitment is setting boundaries. Boundaries are an act of self-respect and self-love. They are not walls to push people away, but rather guidelines that preserve your energy, time, and emotional health. Too often, we allow others' demands to overshadow our own needs. We say yes when we want to say no. We sacrifice our personal time for obligations that do not align with our values, and we give our energy to people who drain us. Total commitment to self requires learning how to say no, how to protect your time, and how to honor your own needs without guilt. Boundaries may be difficult at first, but they are a sign of strength, not weakness. This year of commitment also calls for a deep dive into self-awareness. It's about taking the time to truly get to know yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, your triggers, and your desires. Self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth because it helps you understand the patterns and beliefs that have shaped your life. It allows you to question what is serving you and what is not, and gives you the clarity to make conscious decisions about who you want to become. Through journaling, meditation, therapy, or quiet reflection, you can create the space to discover what truly matters to you, what your authentic self needs to thrive, and how you can move forward in a way that honors your true essence. Total commitment to self also involves breaking free from the limitations you've placed on yourself. For too long, many of us have played small, held back by fear, self-doubt, or a sense of inadequacy. We've convinced ourselves that we are not capable, not worthy, or not deserving of the success, love, or happiness we desire. But this year, commit to rewriting the story you tell yourself. Let go of the limiting beliefs that have held you hostage and start believing in your own potential. When you fully commit to yourself, you stop waiting for external circumstances or validation to give you permission to step into your greatness. You trust that you are enough, just as you are, and that you have everything within you to create the life you want. Self-commitment also means embracing your own strengths and weaknesses. It's about giving yourself permission to be imperfect and understanding that growth is a journey, not a destination. Too often, we beat ourselves up for not being where we think we should be, or for not meeting the standards others have set for us. But true commitment to self involves self-compassion. It's the understanding that progress is not linear, and that mistakes, setbacks, and challenges are a natural part of the process. When you commit to yourself, you give yourself grace, knowing that each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to becoming the person you are meant to be. Another critical aspect of this commitment is nourishing your body and mind. Physical health is an essential part of self-love. In a world that often glorifies hustle and overwork, it's easy to neglect the body that carries you through life. Total commitment to self means making time for regular exercise, nourishing your body with wholesome foods, and getting enough rest. It's about prioritizing your physical well-being as an act of self-respect, knowing that when you feel good in your body, your mind will follow. Mental health is equally important. Taking time for relaxation, seeking therapy when needed, and engaging in activities that bring you peace and joy are crucial to maintaining balance and clarity in your life. This year of total commitment also involves a shift in how you view and nurture your relationships. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your energy and well-being. Commitment to self means being mindful of who you allow into your inner circle. Surround yourself with those who uplift you, inspire you, and encourage your growth. Release relationships that drain you, that hold you back, or that cause you to doubt your worth. Let go of toxic dynamics and create space for connections that honor your authenticity. True commitment to yourself means creating a life that reflects your values, your desires, and your well-being. A year of total commitment to self is about living intentionally. It is easy to get caught up in the rush of life and lose sight of what truly matters. This year, take a step back and ask yourself what you truly want to create. What do you want to experience? What kind of person do you want to become? Living intentionally means making conscious choices each day that align with your vision for your life. It's about taking responsibility for your happiness and understanding that you are the creator of your reality. The year of total commitment to self is an invitation to choose yourself, to honor yourself, and to trust in your own power. It is a commitment to stepping fully into the life you were meant to live. When you make this commitment, everything begins to change. You attract opportunities, relationships, and experiences that align with your highest good. The world around you begins to mirror the love, respect, and care you have for yourself. This is your year to become the fullest expression of who you are, unapologetically and authentically. And in doing so, you create a life that is rich, fulfilling, and entirely your own. In conclusion, the year of total commitment to self is a transformative journey of self-discovery, self-love, and personal empowerment. By dedicating yourself to your own growth, well-being, and happiness, you break free from the external noise that distracts you and reconnect with the truth of who you are. This commitment requires setting boundaries, embracing self-awareness, nourishing your body and mind, and nurturing meaningful relationships. It is a year to step fully into your power, trust in your potential, and create the life you truly desire. As you embark on this journey, remember that total commitment to yourself is not a one-time decision, but a daily practice. With every choice you make, you are shaping your reality and reinforcing your worth. You are worthy of every dream, every success, and every moment of peace. Thank you for taking the time to listen and reflect on this powerful commitment. May this year be one of growth, fulfillment, and deep connection with yourself. Thank you.